Hey, this is Ryan Johnson, the founder and executive director of Cxmmunity. Cxmmunity is a leading esports career and video game pipeline program in North America for students of color. We got started because we recognized there was a huge disparity in the video game space through doing some research with one of our affiliates, the International Game Developers Association. What we found is that nearly 83% of African American millennials play video games on a weekly basis, but only 2% work within the industry on a full-time basis. So what we decided to do is create an organization that exposed students in underserved K-12 institutions and also at HBCUs to the career opportunities that exist within the gaming space. One of our flagship programs is our Esports Career Readiness program. This program exists in three different forms: a 9-week, a 12-week, and a 9-month platform that allows students to be exposed to skills that they should be learning in order to pursue a career within the gaming industry. We broke our program down into 4 career tracks. The first one being information technology, second, STEM and STEAM learning, third is live event production and event management, and fourth is business management and marketing / entrepreneurship. And through those tracks, we actually align with industry professionals from leading companies that a lot of our students are already interested in looking up to. And we invite those professionals on a weekly cadence to then connect directly with students that would like to learn about how to land a job or an internship or develop skills that lead to those two within this space. So our career readiness program is supported right now primarily through 6 schools that we work with here in the Metro Atlanta in Charlotte, North Carolina area. And it's something that we're looking to continuously grow. It costs nothing to parents, it costs nothing to students. It is our way of giving back and exposing these students to ways that they could be learning, studying, and participating within the video game industry. So as much as we focus on the students and the teachers, we also focus on parents and make sure that they understand, because especially in the Black household, if we're teaching parents how to now ask their children questions, we're even strengthening that internal family bond, so where it becomes a point of contention to a point of conversation and actually belonging. As we were entering into our first major event last year, right at the peak of COVID on May 2nd and May 3rd, we launched a program called Tech for COVID. Tech for COVID, if you think in a traditional sense, was like a phone-a-thon, except we did it on a platform called Twitch, so we called it a stream-a-thon. During that 2-day period, we did a 20-hour live stream broadcast that was to raise money and awareness for students who did not have access to laptops or Wi-Fi to participate in distance learning and close out their school year. But we did this in partnership with some amazing companies like the United Way and Intel, where they actually helped contribute and raise extreme dollars, where we nearly hit $118,000 raised in that 20-hour period. And we were able to reach such wide audiences because of our celebrity supporters, from Michael Strahan, who's a Texas Southern graduate.
Hello, I am Michael Strahan, a proud HBC alum of Texas Southern University. I'm a proud HBCUer, and I am so honored to be a part of Tech for COVID.
To Jeezy, to Kenny Burns, and one of my personal favorite, Offset from the Migos. And by being able to combine the leverage of a very sincere cause with major internationally known influencers, we drew in an audience of nearly 250,000 people that helped contribute to that $118,000 that then we were able to use to buy devices for our partner schools and help several of our students continue and close out their school years by providing them with a laptop and/or Wi-Fi connectivity to participate within distance learning. One of the main questions that we usually get is, why do we use X instead of O? And that's really just around the stat that I just shared. When you look across the ecosystem, gaming competitively in STEM careers are driven around computers. But what about the consoles that are so prevalent in minority communities and minority households? X is the only button that's located across a Nintendo, a PlayStation, an Xbox, and then of course a keyboard. So our entire purpose was to highlight and raise awareness to all people that participate and want to have some level of equity and ownership in this space. What we do is partner with industry-leading companies like Microsoft, Verizon, and Comcast, And we build out competitive esports leagues and also career exposure programs for minority students that are interested in learning about careers within the gaming industry. And then we encourage them to pursue those careers through a series of scholarships, internships, and then full-time job placements. Shortly after we finished Tech for COVID, we had the idea to create a competitive platform for HBCU students, and the idea of HBCU Esports League came to life. HBCU Esports League serves as a platform for students that take gaming very seriously to compete on behalf of their college and/or university against other HBCUs in gaming titles like NBA2K, Fortnite, and Madden. In our first year, we were really fortunate to have partnerships with Twitch and Verizon, and we just finished our first season on April the 28th, and we had a grand total of nearly 14 million people that tuned in during our year one. And our plans are to double our corporate partners and double viewership as we enter into season two this upcoming fall. HBCU Esports also served as a destination for corporate partners to provide internships for students that took gaming and STEM careers very seriously. And through that platform, we've secured 15 internships for students throughout our first season that will be working this summer at various companies like Epic Games, Riot Games, and professional esports organizations like the Evil Geniuses and Version 1 that are located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so, as a result from HBCU Esports League, we wanted to do a little bit more than just provide simply a platform for these students to compete virtually. So taking this step further, our second iteration is actually developing esports and STEM labs at these various schools. So far, we have already completed 2 of these labs, one at my alma mater, Oakwood University, and then our co-founder's alma mater, North Carolina Central University. And we're on track right now to complete nearly 12 more by the end of 2021. And as we continue to gain more corporate support and corporate partners, it allows us to then go out and build that many more. So essentially now if we look at an analogy, we are building the basketball courts or the football fields for these esports programs to actually have a place dedicated on campus for these students to compete, convene, and then also continue building community on campus. So throughout the pandemic, we have done some significant work that we are very, very proud of, but we know that we're just getting started. As it stands right now, within just a 6-month time span, we've been able to secure partnerships with Microsoft, Verizon, Comcast, Twitch, and a couple of others. And we're really looking to provide an ecosystem that supports students where they're passionate and show them how they can make a career and make a living out of things that we consider to be a waste of time. So we're really excited to share this message with you all and continue to do the amazing work to support our HBCUs and the efforts to enter and have equity in the esports and video game industry.
To community, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to help us get started and grow. Chris is amazing. Ryan is amazing. Julian is amazing. You guys are wonderful, and I'm grateful to be a part of community and be able to share this opportunity with my school. This is amazing.
What's going on, family? Welcome back for another episode of HBCU Esports League, powered by Verizon. I am Bridge, now alongside the one and only Christina Granville, aka Miss Basketball. We might as well get right to it. Listen, you ready? That's what happens. Hold it down for Langston now. Listen. Langston's looks so far, but we got a tie ball game now, ladies and gentlemen. Scored out about 24 all with less than a minute remaining. The man's got froze to the rack. Oh, here we go. My God. Let's ride. Here we go with his left side. In the overlay by himself. Cam, are you kidding me? Yes, sir. Are you kidding? Hey, no, time out, bro. We talk fashion, we talk culture, and we talk my favorite kicks. Go ahead and give it up for the one, the only Rio.
Appreciate you. Thank you. is a big accomplishment, and my hard work pays off.
Well, I just wanted to say to everyone over at Verizon, thank you. To Community Co, thank you. To two great, amazing hosts, thank y'all. It just really means the world to me. I proudly accept this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, V Sports. Congratulations, Nightcrawler. You have made your universities and your HBCUs proud. And today, tonight, and until next season, we continue to celebrate you. Let's continue to make history unapologetically. And we are truly making a mark on the industry that can never be erased.
But this is only the beginning. Yes, inaugural. Yes, first season. But there is more to come. Until next time, peace, love, and all is light.
Hello and welcome, everyone. I'd like to take this time to kindly introduce speakers representing Cxmmunity, Chris and Julian.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, perfect. Hey, good afternoon. My name is Chris PA, co-founder of Cxmmunity.
And good afternoon. My name is Julian Fitzgerald, one of the founding members of Cxmmunity, as well as the COO.
Amazing. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us. I'm sorry, we can't see anything, but just hope everyone enjoyed the video. We put some time into it. It was basically a mixture of Cxmmunity since Cxmmunity's birth in February of 2020, all the way up to now, June 4th, 2021, including our HBCU Esports League. So really just wanted to see, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you had any questions, we're just here to pretty much answer, any questions that you guys have. So definitely thank you, Elizabeth, for having us.
Perfect. Since you aren't able to see the Q and chat feed, perhaps what I can do is I can verbally relay the message towards you that's coming from the chat.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. So we have a question here. Have HBCU formalized and or issued an, actually, perhaps I'll read this question here instead. How can a community-based org get involved with the movement? We have one HBCU locally, Harris Stowe University, and this would be great.
Absolutely. So we welcome any and all community organizations. We work a lot with community organizations. We work a lot with corporate organizations. We also work a lot with schools, of course, being an HBCU esports program. So yeah, Harris Stowe University, I don't think we've had a conversation with you guys, but definitely would love to. So you could reach out. I don't know if I could drop my email in the chat. But yeah, please do reach out.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the community? You want to take that?
Perfect. What I'll do, I'll drop your email later while you're answering some questions, just so that everyone can get in touch. I'll also include your website as well. So we did have another question just come in. Can you tell us a little bit about the impact that esports had on your participants during the pandemic?
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, during the pandemic, physical sports kind of became like an obsolete thing last year. And so we were able to channel and kind of really hone in on like the esports portion, the competitive video game play. Just realizing again that fact that like 83% of African American millennials play video games. Myself as an HBCU alum, 90% of the time what we were doing was playing video games in our dorms. And so we're able to channel that to then, introduce the students to esports, the video game industry as a whole, especially the opportunities that align within, and just pretty much put them to the test. And so now we have students from, let's say, Southern University, for example, that are playing students from Oakwood University, which otherwise would have like never happened before. They're doing something that they're already doing in their dorms anyway, but then they win like a $10,000 scholarship prize. And so just that type of impact, I'll let Julian kind of go into, the internship opportunities that kind of align within, but we provided internship opportunities, scholarship opportunities, as well as some like in-kind donations for the students and the schools as well.
Yeah, and to really piggyback on that, I would also include, a couple of things that were huge, especially as, in-person sports were not an option is, the universities themselves. We also see as participants of the leagues. And so our school partner institutions were able to leverage some of their existing bandwidth and or, support or sponsorship for their existing leagues, for the esports efforts, as well as in regards to some of the students' benefits from the league interaction. Is, this league was really an awareness and attraction tool for not only our students in the various HBCU institutions, but also our corporate audience. And so being able to support our students who participated with different scholarships as well as prize pool opportunities has been huge. And then some of the last few pieces is securing internships on behalf of some of these larger companies that we're all familiar with, that, the game developers who are, who develop Epic Games, who develop Fortnite, as well as some large, huge other ones. And so being able to secure internship roles or positions for our students and direct access to these industry leaders is huge. And I would say this is really, thanks and a huge influential piece to our league and the students' participation.
Amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. So another question from our audience. Someone's asked, give me an idea of what you have heard from regional employees inside and outside of esports in terms of how esports relates to their own talent pipelines.
Absolutely. This is something that I would say in regards to employers, we've already had some film academy as well as production entities reach out because of the transferable skills and the multidisciplinary skill sets that an individual must possess being in the industry. So in regards to, the feedback from inside of the industry or outside of the industry that some of these companies have had is, really centered around the existing skill set and prerequisite knowledge that students had based on their interest in some of the stream or game productions and how they're able to, take some of those skill sets as well and transfer them over to a potential, internship role or apprenticeship role where they're able to further leverage their existing knowledge to an existing role, especially being here in Georgia. There are some of the larger opportunities within, just being exposed to some of these content and production roles. And so I would say those are probably the most vocal employers in regards to how esports in itself relates within this industry in regards to those talent pipelines they're able to tap into.
Amazing. So another question here from our audience. What can a high school esports coach do to help their students, players find their way towards an HBCU program? And further, how are you working with high school level programs?
That's an excellent question. You want to start on that?
Yeah, sure. So we work with, we're Atlanta, Georgia based. So we work with a lot of Atlanta, Georgia high schools. We're also working with, fingers crossed, a corporate partner to then be able to create like a national esports program for high schools. But everything we do, it creates its pipeline. So what Julian is working on now with our educational program is creating pipelines to HBCUs. And so we have, the students are able to come, they go through the K through 12, pretty much like, I wouldn't say intense, but a pretty cool program where they get to learn a lot of transferable skills. They pick up those skills and then they realize, oh, like Clark Atlanta University has an esports program, and then we just kind of funnel them directly through there with like internship opportunities, different job opportunities that they can work through before they actually get to college. But yeah, just creating that pipeline program. I would say like we're literally probably 4 or 5 of the most personable people that you could think of. So I would definitely say, as Elizabeth sent our email out, please feel free to shoot us an email, and we could always just jump on a call and kind of go a little bit further.
Absolutely. And then also to answer the latter part of that question in regards to how are we furthering our work within the high school environment. So like Chris alluded to, with mirroring and mimicking our collegiate league, we're in the process of compiling a high school league that will directly feed into the HBCU environment that we're already entrenched in. And so this is something that we're very excited about, giving our K through 12, really our high school audience an opportunity to start to not only compete and gameplay, but also help support and learn the basics and gain experience in and around the industry, everything from content creation, content curation, broadcast and production, tournament organizing. And so we're giving students the opportunity to one, manage some of those experiences as well as participate in those with the high school league that we're putting together, as well as our career readiness program is tailored towards the K through 12 environment, specifically really 6 through 12. We have a couple of younger students in the 6th and 7th grade, but our program already is designed to help them identify the vital skill sets as well as prerequisite information and relationships they need to establish so that they are able to pursue a pathway depending on their own interest.
Perfect, very insightful. So it seems we only have time for one more question, but we did have quite a bit coming through. So if to end off the last question, as someone stated, amazing work in 1 year. So impressed. What has been the biggest challenge of running virtual tournaments?
I'd say the biggest challenge of running virtual tournaments is it's like, I guess, actually getting everyone to show up on time. In an ideal world, we would have the students participate on campus. And so like, that's kind of why, to prep for that, we're building Esports Labs on campus. As a quick sidebar, like before December 2021, we'll have 12 Esports Labs built. So then, we're able to then, funnel those students into one place where they can participate together as a team and practice, as well as compete, as well as, like Julian said, leveraging the communications department at the school to then be able to produce and, put the broadcast, the actual tournaments. So I would say a challenge is, just making sure that everyone, shows up on time. It's the biggest thing in terms of like virtual.
Perfect. Thanks so much for sharing. I completely agree. I mean, competing as well as hosting tournaments as well. Sometimes players may come a little late, and it does hold everything back a little bit. But I think just being adaptive and pivoting is a good solution. So thanks so much for taking the time to answer these questions. So to the viewers out there, I have posted in the announcements how you can connect with Cxmmunity. So you can connect by visiting their website, which is www.cxmmunity.co, or you can connect with Chris. I have posted Chris's email in that announcement as well. Thanks so much, Chris and Julian, for taking the time to speak with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So up next, please stay tuned as we do have our next panel coming up, and it's focused on the topic, crafting esports and gaming programs for academic success. So please stay tuned.
Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to connecting with you.